You don't have to wait, you know my name. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were younger. Innocent in our ways, we were dumb, girl. But nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. The touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. Sunshine and rain, some things don't change. Thinking about the days we were younger. Innocent in our ways, we were dumb, girl. But nothing really mattered, I could always count on you. Your touch will leave me breathless, so let me give it back to you. I could always count on you. I could always count on you.
In your eyes I can see.
Alright, what's up guys? How's everyone doing? I'm sorry that was a little late. Someone called me, work called. That's why we're doing it tonight. Starting to work again, everything's getting really busy. But we got two of the three, not including me, which is John and Jackson. John, you've had a pretty eventful few days.
Yeah, I mean, you can say that. That's a good way of putting it. So, yeah, it was fun.
I was kind of hoping you would elaborate on that, but okay.
Oh, you want me to elaborate? Okay, well, I mean, I went to opening day in the game yesterday, so 2 big dubs right there, and then decided not to go today, but went to the Elite Eight, saw a great game. So, yeah, I'm kind of riding the sports high, but, you know, that's pretty much it.
All right, and Jackson, how you doing? I mean, you probably haven't done much.
Not a ton. No, I've just been watching.
That was me. Sorry if you heard anything, but yeah, I had to unplug something and plug it back in. All right, mic's working good. All right, boys, let's get right into it. Opening day, opening week. It's finally here. The Royals actually look good against the White Sox, which is somehow one of the teams that are worse, or that's even a word, than us. But let's get right into it. Game one, well, the Royals in overall won 2 of the 3 games against the White Sox. Game 1, we won 5-3 with Brad Keller throwing 7 innings with 0 earned runs, while the bullpen gave up 3 in the 9th inning. Side note, Ian Kennedy did go one inning with 0 earned runs. Who can save this bullpen? Jackson, let's start with you. Hold up. Getting some stuff. They cannot hear us. Gentlemen, we're going to have to shut the stream down. Totally forgot about that part. Be right back, guys. All right, I think we are back. Now, Jackson, would you like to kind of summarize what you said about who we can save for our bullpen? Who can save our bullpen?
I basically said no one can, and you just got to hope that the guy you put in that day has a good day, because our bullpen is pretty trash, to be honest. It's bad. It's just to sum it up, it's really bad.
All right. John, do you think there's anyone out there to save our bullpen?
Do I think there's anyone out there to save it? No. It's just kind of a mess, to be honest. This is kind of the side effect of this year. Really, our hitting is there. That's kind of the nice thing, but the bullpen is absolutely not. They've given up runs every time. We don't really have a single bullpen pitcher that I have very much faith in at all. I thought maybe Peralta and Boxberger would have been fine, but neither of them really had all that great of outings. Peralta, 2 earned, and then Boxberger gave up a run or 2 yesterday. So, kind of a rough start. I mean, I'd like to say that Kennedy and Zimmer kind of have the stuff to be solid relievers out of the pen. Kennedy isn't exactly a guy with command problems, so that usually bodes well for bullpen pitchers, especially because they usually come in like fresh and, they've got good stuff. So good to see that maybe Kennedy could be a solid option out of the pen if he doesn't move into the rotation at some point this year.
All right. Speaking of Kennedy in the rotation, do you think he's better in the bullpen or rotation? John, we're going to start with you.
Almost certainly bullpen, because he can't do as much damage. I mean, my God, he was such a bad starter. That is probably the biggest fail out of just our management, was giving him that deal. That was just not a great move. I understand, it wasn't a bad move at the time. It just has not panned over for us. So I'll say in the bullpen. Also, a lot of pitchers are bad starters and good relievers. Let's not forget Wade Davis wasn't exactly a lockdown starting pitcher when we moved him into the bullpen. So a lot of guys just do better in that sort of a role. So this could be a good adjustment for us. And I also think that's kind of something we should look at for Zimmer, especially with his issues coming in the injury department rather than, just not having what it takes. So,
yeah. Jackson, what do you think? Kennedy better in the bullpen or in the rotation?
Well, I think certainly he's better in the bullpen. His biggest problem was he would have good outings, but then second and third time through the lineup, people saw him and just started, slamming him. So I think, this could be beneficial. Although the problem I see right now is that I don't know if we have 5 starters with Duffy being hurt.
I am hearing
know
news.
We don't with Duffy.
I am hearing news. Homer Bailey is making his debut on Wednesday.
Well, yeah, and we have, he's been spotted at the clubhouse, so.
Exactly, but Ned says it could be an imposter, so good to see Ned.
Ned said it was an imposter.
Good to see Ned's having some fun already.
He's definitely, he'll definitely be pitching on Wednesday then.
He did say Keller is pitching Tuesday, which seems to me like a really, quick break.
I mean, it's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So, he's just getting
weird.
A break as if it does seem weird.
We had 2 off days, so yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally agree. He's way better in the bullpen. I was going to bring up how many times he goes. What's the batter's average when they face him the first, second, third time? But Jackson kind of already talked about it. But I totally think he will be better in the bullpen than him in the rotation. And it should be interesting what Ned does with the rotation. Maybe one day we have some relief pitcher pitch 3 innings. Maybe that can be Kennedy. And then the rest is 1 inning relief pitchers. Because there are teams that do that. I don't like that. But it could be a possibility. In the same game, Mondesi had 2 triples in this game. A.K.A. me and Jackson were right. Mondesi's already won AL MVP.
Facts.
Already told you guys this in February. We literally recorded it for a reason. What can we expect from Mondesi daily? Jackson, let's start with you.
Oh, what else could you expect other than what you've been seeing? Listen, this dude is was one of the highest rated guys as a prospect. And, maybe the national media doesn't talk about him as much, but I think Kansas City last year watched him and understands how good he could really be. I expect him to hit anywhere in between 280 and 300 this year. Good defense, a lot of steals. I think you can count on him being an all-star type player for a long time.
Dang. All right, John. What can we
Oh,
expect
yeah,
from
I mean-
Odyssey Daily?
I think that we could see an all-star appearance this season, whether it's just, the Royals' obligatory bid or even him alongside with Witt, and I don't know, who knows, maybe somebody else will step up, Soler. But, I mean, yeah, it's kind of an interesting prospect, seeing as a lot of people had given up with him from late 2016 and early 2017, where he just could not put the bat on the ball, and it was infuriating. But now he's looked like kind of a new animal. I mean, he has power, which is kind of interesting to see. Multiple extra base hits, and he can run bases and play the field pretty well. So he is definitely a big deal. The Royals fans should be excited about him in the future because, I mean, he kind of reminds me of old Patrick Mahomes. So, yeah, interesting little thing for the Royals right
Patrick Mondesi is what I've seen. Paltoberto.
Pat Alberto Mondesi.
Yeah, something like that.
That sounds great.
Coming in from the comment section, Chiefs Daily News, known as Jake, he said we're off to a decent start. Can't wait to watch as the season goes on, for sure. But then Nicholas said, who's better, Merrifield, Mondesi, or Hamilton? What are we talking about? Speed, hitting, overall? We need more details.
If we're saying overall, I'm not really going to mess with Hamilton. He has hit well in our first 3 games, but, I mean, I don't expect anything more but 240, 250 from him, which honestly is fine.
Yeah, because last year he hit like 230
with the bases he's going to run and, the fielding
Mm-hmm.
plays that he's going to bring to the table, that is not a bad option out of center field. So I'm very happy with what he brings. Agility, then Billy, probably.
Yeah, I'd say it's Hamilton without a doubt.
Yeah.
He can cover a field like no one else.
I have heard that, like, whispers that Adalberto is actually the fastest player on the Royals, which I find hard to believe since I think Gore is technically on the 25-man roster as well as Hamilton, so he's got some tough company to deal with.
We just haven't. I mean, Mondesi did get 2 dribbles on opening day, so I mean, he's a fast.
He's kind of a baller.
Anyway, in game 2, the Royals won again, 8-6, with Junis pitching 5 2/3 of an inning with 3 earned runs. Horace Soler went 3 for 3, driving in 3 RBIs. How much of an improvement is Soler to this team when he is healthy?
Oh, I mean, he was last year looking really good before he went down. I mean, he's a valuable bat in your lineup, a guy that can bring in a lot of runs. He's shown that early. He's got a lot of early RBIs. Yeah, he's a big bat in your lineup, whether you want to put him at DH or right field. Apparently he's gotten better at right field, but we'll see. And I just think that, I mean, like, was the trade for him with Wade Davis a good trade? I still would say no.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure.
I want to talk about that. In pregame today, Joe Goldberg said you can't really assess the trade until Soler's career with the Royals is done. Wade Davis is already done with the Cubs, so you can assess that part of the trade. But, I mean, you really don't know what he
can't.
brings.
I mean, the Cubs can assess it.
The Cubs
Here's
can,
the
but the
the
Royals
Cubs,
can't.
what the Cubs got out of that was very valuable. They wanted to chase a ring, and they got to the NLCS out of it. Wade Davis played a huge part in that. They can't complain. I feel like they got that. Plus, they don't need Soler. I mean, the Cubs are still going to probably win 90 to 100 games this year.
Oh, and they're going to be in the playoffs for the next 5 years, I bet.
Most likely, yeah. So I think it really will depend. It will. But as of right now, no. It's like that we lost that trade. But that doesn't mean Soler can't be valuable. Soler could still help us out a lot. And heck, if he's on the roster for the next great playoff runs and he plays a big part, you could say it was even. But as of right now, just looking at it, we lost that trade. But that doesn't take away from what Soler's done.
I would disagree.
No, okay. Let me put my 2 cents in here. First of all, I want to say, don't want to take away from what Soler's doing because I think he's a good player. I don't blame him for this trade. Really like him. I think he can hit the ball with incredible just strength. I mean, he hit a home run last year where he literally just used his upper body. But the thing with the Soler trade that bothers me is, one, why would we not commit to something in 2017? Because you have to make a decision. Are you going all in for a ring or can we not win? Because you can't kind of go halfway because then you're not going to win and you're not going to dump players when you need to. So if we were going to trade Davis, I don't see why we didn't trade anybody else because, I mean, and even when we didn't trade Davis, like, we were knocking on the door for the postseason for so long, and like really our bullpen was not great, and that was kind of silly to me too because we were such like the bullpen was our thing, and like we just kind of threw it out the window really quickly, and I don't know, it doesn't make sense. But my other issue with the Soler trade is that Soler's contract does not fit our window whatsoever. Like,
Right.
we're not gonna. I don't think we're a World Series team in 2 years. I think
His
right as
contract
his deal is
expires in
up.
2 years.
I think he was a 4-year. We had him for 4 years when we traded for him. So 17, 18, 19. This is his 3rd year. Next year, I don't think we'll have it yet. The year after that is when we can start talking about, playoff implications. I know we're 2-1, and I know we're hitting the ball, but
Hey,
if you think you can win with that type of a bullpen, you're mental.
Our percent went from 1.9 to 12.5.
I bet it went down today.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
Hey,
it didn't make
sense.
sense.
The Royals are 2-1. The first 2 picks have a winning record, which I never thought I would ever say.
Yeah, but anyway, I do just want to make that point. Still not a huge fan of the Davis trade, but Soler does bring a lot to the table. Great bat, not the best fielder, but I can get over that. Yeah, I mean, he's done a good job.
All right. Now, since we brought this trade up, to be honest, I'm not going to be able to grade this. I'm not going to be able to assess this, grade this trade. I think Slayer is huge to this team when he's healthy. I mean, yesterday we saw he literally looked like he hit one out of the park on his last at bat, but the wind wasn't blowing in like crazy. He would have actually got it out. But like John says, this dude literally has his bat's huge. Like, he can only use his upper body and he still hits dongs. So Slayer, if he actually tries, because sometimes on opening day, there was one at bat when he was just like swinging with his arms. That was it. Like, he was just free swinging. Looked like he was not. He did not care
I'm not going to
bit.
question whether or not he's trying. He's definitely trying.
He's trying, but it doesn't look like he is.
I mean, a lot of times he gets made silly by curveballs in the dirt when he's trying to hit dingers.
He does need to improve on a lot of stuff, but I think Soler at the end of this, by the time his career is done with the Royals, I think it might be an even trade. We'll see. But just another little side note, the bullpen did give up another 3 runs when Ian Kennedy did get his first save. Also, Kevin McCarthy, Sam's lover. We need to talk about this. If you want to be Sam's lover, you got to give us something to love you about.
I'm not going to call him K-Mac because inside sources have told me that there's some benefits along with being nice to Kevin McCarthy. So keep doing your best, K-Mac. You're good, buddy.
I met him in person and shook his hand. I didn't get a tipped cap.
I got his cap tipped at me about 8 times. So.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you guys saw John on TV. I mean, you don't know what he looks like, but I mean.
Yeah, I mean, if
you saw a redhead,
dude.
looking silly, that's John.
I mean, yeah, right. This is why I don't link my social media because then all y'all would be like, oh, so, boom.
Yep.
Okay.
Totally.
Moving on. Game 3, the Orioles lost 6-8, but did not do anything until the 7th inning when Lucas Giolito, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, lost his no-hit bid. The Orioles did get the bats going after the no-hitter was gone, with scoring 6 runs in 3 innings. Is this the Royals team that we should expect, where they can get runs, when they can get, what's it called? Just, I don't know, like a pace going, and they just keep on getting like single for single, and they just keep bringing in the team, and they keep bringing in the runs. Or are we expecting a lot of power hitting this season? Jackson, we'll start with you.
I would definitely expecting contact. We just went 3 games without hitting 1 home run. Granted, it's Kaufman, but still, we won a series without hitting a home run. I mean, we're not a home run hitting team. We weren't when we were good. We don't need to be. Like, I don't understand. Power doesn't directly correlate to wins. You know, putting the ball in play can work too. We proved that. And, you know, most of the people in our lineup, you know, not counting Soler, when Dude is in there, O'Hearn, but like most of the guys don't have a ton of power. Mondesi has some, Witt has a little bit. Hamilton really doesn't have any. You know, most of the guys in our lineup, Gordon, you know, he's pretty limited now. Don't have a ton
I expect Soler and O'Hearn to offer a lot of dingers this year.
I think Dozier might offer at least 20. Close
I mean,
20.
but we're not to keep it simple though. Like, we should not be swinging for the fences most of the time. We should be a contact team.
See, I don't know if Soler can
Yeah.
deal with that. I don't see him.
Well, Solaire's a different story.
All right, John. What do you think this team's more about? Swinging in front
Well,
of
I think
fences or contact?
I think it's pretty clear when we have, I mean, our main floor, well, not floor, but our main base floor. My goodness, our main base is generally Witt and Mondesi, and I don't see them hitting all that many dingers. I mean, Mondesi may get up there because he does have a little bit of power. Witt obviously is going to hit for contact. We know this, and then we sign people like Billy Hamilton. So that type of thing. No, I don't think we're going to be more of a power team. But I also don't think we're going to be quite a small ball team because we have multiple power people at the first base and designated hitter position. So completely content with that. But overall, I mean, our hitting is there. I kind of feel like our main thing is that our pitching and our bullpen.
Our
is not
rotation,
there.
our first three dudes in the rotation are fine, I think. I
Yeah,
like our
well,
first three.
We know what happens when the 4 and 5 are
That's
very
when
weak,
we get
and
a
that's when the
little
2016 and 2017 Royals happen.
Yeah.
I don't. So will Bailey be our 4? Because I mean, if you're gonna start Keller before you can even get to the 4 and 5, that's gonna be.
Well, do we have a timetable on Duffy?
He's on the 10-day injured list. That's all we have, really.
Yeah. Also, I'm calling it the DL. Y'all can get out of here. Injured list? Are you kidding me?
Because it would stand for disabled list.
You can't make fun of disabled people.
I mean, I know you can't, but it's been the DL for years.
Anyway,
no shade to disabled people.
The one dude that I've been talking about in the group chat like crazy is Chris Owings. I don't know why he's still playing for us in the major leagues.
Okay.
Started every single game, still has no hits. Is it time for Owings to go back down? He's playing against the White Sox.
Okay, hold on. If you're willing to send a player down off of 3 games, then your temper is very, very high.
Yeah. You're 0 for 9.
Bro, I don't care. Maybe give him a day off, but literally, you're telling me if you give a guy a roster spot and he has a bad series, you're sending him down? Like, is that really what you're going to do?
There's better players I feel like that can fit the position he's playing.
Who?
Well, today for sure, Hunter Dozier.
Well, yeah, Hunter Dozier had the day off.
Second base, of course, Whit Merrifield.
Merrifield played second today. Like, I'm just saying, Hunter hasn't got a hit either this year, I don't think. So it's
let Chris be the person that Cam Gallagher would be to Salvi. Every Sunday, he gets to play second base.
Listen, I agree. I didn't really care for the Chris Owings signing, but sending him, going from supporting him to sending him down after an 0 for 9 is kind of radical.
Look, I never said I was supporting him. I don't think he was
but you didn't complain when he made the opening day roster, right? You were never out there saying, like, oh my God, I can't believe he made the roster.
Because I really didn't look at the roster, and I didn't think of Chris Owings. Like, I thought Witt for sure was going to be second base. Of course, I know he plays outfield sometimes. I know Dozier was going to be our main third baseman. But one dude I am glad that we brought up is Frank Schwindel. I will say that. That was a great move. And Kyle Zimmer. Also, Bubba Starling might be making the move to the MLB roster. I don't know if people saw that, but he is on a flight to KC.
See, okay, my thing with that is, if you ever told me that Bubba Starling and Kyle Zimmer would ever wear the Royals uniform in a regular game, I would say you are absolutely insane. That shows the rock bottom the Royals have hit. Even though Zimmer's been solid, so no shade to him. Good for him.
Anyway, John, okay, here, Jackson. Let's say Owings doesn't have let's say he goes 12 games and he has 3 hits. Then are we looking at something?
Well,
if the rate continues, then it's bad. Duh.
My thing is
So what what I'm trying to get out is, when is it time to pull the plug then?
Well, I don't know.
He's done it for 15 games.
Well, the Royals knew what they were signing. I mean, the dude hit 206 last year. They knew that they were signing that. He's not a good hitter.
They signed a guy to steal bases and
they hit the ball to get on base first.
They got a utility guy. That's basically what they got. But listen, if it comes down to it, is he the first one I'm going to send down? Let's say, for example, Homer Bailey's about to come to the active roster. Who are we sending down? Is it going to be Owings?
might be Diekman or something like that.
No, I think Diekman's safer than that. I would say I'm looking more at Terrence Gore before I'm looking at that. But No, but I'm just saying
situation where
it won't be like it won't be. I'm sending him down because he's played poor. It'll be because we have to send him down because we absolutely just are out of guys and we need people to fill another position. So I don't think there's going to be we need to pull the player. I think it's going to be, all right, we need something at this position. You haven't produced, get down.
Now.
Pretty much. I mean, Dayton Moore has balls. He sent Mike Moustakas to the minors, so I mean, we'll see.
And he sent Ventura to the minors.
Was coming back from an injury?
No, I'm talking
not
before.
Really.
No,
I'm
talking.
That is right. That is right.
Moustakas
2014.
Yeah,
and he came back up and started hitting.
Yep.
Anyway.
100%.
All right, so
even though here's what I will say though. I did not expect hitting from Owings. Like, that is the thing. We knew what we were getting ourselves into. Like,
so
if we're here and we're like,
let him be a dude that comes in the 7th inning to pinch run.
Like, we weren't expecting that. Like,
okay, so we're not doing start bench or cuts because we have something else I kind of want to do. That's going to continue on for a week or two, and that is predicting awards for the MLB. Every podcast we will be doing another award. Tonight we're going to start off big with the MVP for the AL and NL. We're going to do that. And Tuesday, we will have the Cy Young Award. Saturday or Sunday, depending on my work schedule, we will have the Rookie of the Year. And, yeah, pretty much. Maybe we might do Manager of the Year, but I was just letting you guys know. Anyway, let's start with AL MVP. John?
I'm going to take the basic choice and say Mike Trout. Because he's the best player probably ever. So, yep. Right. Actually, no. Barry Bonds, the GOAT. Mike Trout's number 2.
All right.
Ken Griffey stands can get right on out of here. I don't care that you use steroids.
Who's
he had
your
600 on base percentage.
No, I kind of want him to keep going. Mine, I'm going to pick Aaron Judge just so I have to be different than John.
Ooh, interesting pick. I kind of forgot Aaron Judge existed.
I was about to pick Aaron Judge, but I mean, I won't pick him. I'll pick.
Pick Giancarlo.
I was about to say that, but it's like maybe it might be JD Martinez.
I don't know how Giancarlo was not way better than he was last year. Like, especially at Yankee Stadium, all he has to do is hit a fly ball and boom, it's gone.
I say JD Martinez. The dude hits bombs. I also need him to do good in fantasy, so that's why I'm also giving him that.
Wait, okay, forgive me. Oh, wait, never mind. I'm stupid.
Yeah, we all know that. In the NL, John Jackson, who's your NL MVP?
Great, you asked me first. Christian Yelich. I'm going back to back.
Oh, my God. Okay, well, I was going to go Christian Yelich, but since you took it, I was going to say Justin Turner, but he doesn't hit enough dingers, so I will go... I'll go Bryce Harper. Why not?
That's a good pick.
I think he's due for, a bounce back. He's clearly in love with Philadelphia. So,
you guys are forgetting.
Picking Harper.
Nolan Arenado. The dude got paid. This is his year that he has to show that.
When you get paid, that's when you're less likely to do good.
Right.
Like, that's what's going to happen to D Ford.
It's either him.
Like, D Ford already
it's either him or Paul Goldschmidt.
He said,
I say him or
I don't want to line up on
I say him or Goldschmidt.
So I'm going to screw this team's butt.
Him or Goldschmidt. I say one of the two.
Okay, Paul Goldschmidt can get right on out of here. The Cardinals of all teams, like, come on, man.
It's not his fault. They traded for him.
All right.
I know, but then he signed a fat extension, so
all right,
get right
guys. Tuesday we're gonna be back to the regular schedule. Just wanted to get an MLB opening day episode out. We'll be talking about Duke in the Final Four, not in the Final Four, and who is in the Final Four on Tuesday. But last question about the MLB: who has surprised you after the most? What team has surprised you the most after this week?
It's been 3 games.
I
if I had to choose,
I would say the Red Sox have shocked me the most, being 1-3. I did not.
I was really hoping when I said surprise, you would think like, "Oh, what team surprised me that because they're good." But
I did think of it that way first, but then I thought you two would think of it that way.
You can answer it that way too.
Listen, I know, but it's impossible. Like, this is a complete overreaction if we pick anyone. But yeah, it's kind of surprising the Red Sox played so terrible this weekend at Seattle.
My thing is Seattle. They're 5-1. You can say that or the Dodgers because of how hard they're hitting the ball right now. literally hitting
I'll
dong
make-
after dong after dong.
I'll make an interesting choice. I will say the Padres.
Yeah, they are 3-1, right? No, 2.
Yes, they are.
3-1, yeah. I mean, they did play the Giants.
Made a terrible signing with Manny Machado, but hey, I mean, until you have
Facts.
your first 4 games, then go right ahead.
Exactly. All
Also,
right.
whoever the GM of the Padres is an idiot. Like, you haven't learned your lesson. You
All
signed
right,
Eric
John
Hosmer and then he
Snibby.
hit like 255. Like, come on.
And James Shields.
Yeah, and James Shields. Like, bro, stop.
Let's see if
Stop.
Hosmer has a better year this year.
I mean, maybe. I love you, Eric, but you really played the Padres big time.
Hey,
Eric,
he got
you should
paid.
never have left.
He got paid.
You were fake
Hey,
for leaving.
We didn't have to
he
pay
was-
him.
He was a
we didn't have
god
to pay
for
him.
leaving because if we actually offered what they were reporting we
Yeah,
offered him,
then
we would
that
have
would
screwed our
suck.
organization over for a long time.
I'm
No,
glad.
he
I
should have
agree
been a
with
Royal
John.
for life.
Anyway, let's
No.
finish there. I know it's
The only
kind
one
of
that has
short.
to be a Royal for life is Salvador Perez.
Jesus. We
If
get
he
it.
goes anywhere else, I'll be pissed.
All right, you guys can
Yes.
go you guys can go follow Jackson at Orioles.Kingdom, giving you all the Orioles updates. Sam at Chiefs.Chaos. Me at KC3 Takes, because I really don't know what else to promote. Make sure you guys like
And
the.
I don't have social media.
No, John
That's a
definitely
lie.
has it. John has
He
it.
did. Well, I'll link it in the description.
If you link anything, I swear to God. Oh, I
No,
have a private account.
Can we play the?
My main
I
picture
kinda
is
wanna
me,
play.
like,
I
yelling.
want to on Tuesday. I kind of want to put up the clip of you on TV. Anyway,
I kind of want to put up the clip of me defending Dayton more passionately.
yeah, that's definitely going on our midnight show if we ever have one.
And
Oh yeah,
it's-
tell your wives, tell your kids, watch the show, subscribe.
Yeah, make sure you guys subscribe,
NSFW.
guys. We're trying to get 250 by the end of April, which would be clutch.
If you tell your wife, she'll subscribe.
Okay, John.
Also,
I don't know
shout
what
out
it is
to
with
the-
wives.
To the married gang out there, there's one dude with a wife out there watching us at
and
some point.
if you don't tell your wife, she'll
Then
divorce
you
you.
don't got.
so-
Then
Yeah.
you don't have a wife. Anyway,
Ask
we'll
my
see
guy
you guys
Barry
on
about
Tu-
that.
We see you guys on Tuesday.
Your wife